Hey, what's going on? Just gonna do a Unigine Heaven 3.0 run. I've seen a lot of people do these lately. Been kind of impressed with some of the ones I've seen. I have noticed NVIDIA cards, the 6 series cards, seem to do a little bit worse than the 7000 series Radeon cards, which is what I have. Just going through my settings right here on camera, just so you see what I'm running. Default anisotropic filtering, gonna let the Heaven dictate that. Same with the anti-aliasing application settings. Tessellation default, texture quality, I have that cranked to high. I know some people will actually lower that all the way down to kind of cheat on their benchmarks. Let's see. VSync off, obviously. I'm only going to run MSAA. Running it at super sample just it just kills the frame rate. I mean, it just cuts it in half pretty much. Triple buffering, I'll go ahead and turn that on. Alright. Just my open hardware monitor. Got CPU running at 4.8, so 2600K running at 4.8. Both 7900s or 7970s are overclocked to 1225 on the GPU and 1650 memory. I could probably get the memory up to probably about 1750-ish, but I have to crank the voltage really high on the memory, and I haven't really seen much of an increase in frame rates once I get past 1700, so I'm just going to leave it at 1650 for now. This is all on water. CPU's on water, both GPUs are on water. I'll take a shot at my rig after this is over. I could use Fraps to do this, but Fraps doesn't record the frame rate properly. It seems to want to cycle down to 120 frames per second and then go down to 60. It kind of fluctuates between there, whereas if I turn Fraps off, my frame rate is about 15 to 20 frames per second higher, my average frame rate once the benchmark is finished. So I'm going to leave it off and just do this on camera. So anyway, running tessellation at extreme, shaders high, anisotropic filtering 16x, anti-aliasing 8x, and here we go. You're not going to hear any sound because I don't use speakers, I just use headphones. So go ahead and hit F9 here. Right now it's about 72 frames per second average. It will go up a lot more than that though. Just hit 80, 90. Obviously the video is not going to be at 60 frames per second or higher on YouTube. They limit it to 30, so there is some flickering where the dragon scene comes up. I've noticed it doesn't really have anything to do with overclocks. It doesn't stable default settings when it's 100% stable, obviously, and then it does it when it overclocks. See right here, you can see kind of some flickering in the sky, but I've heard a lot of people have that issue, so I'm not really worried about it. My phone camera is also limited to 30 frames, so it does have some jittery looking. I don't know, it's weird. It just looks kind of jittery compared to what my monitor actually shows. right now I'm at about 93 frames per second. And my cat in the background. Yeah, this is where the frame rate really starts to kick up, especially right here, and then at the lighthouse scene, it just skyrockets. All right, I'm at over 100 right now, 100.0-ish, 99.9. Yeah, right here, just jacks up. $103, $104. There it is, 105.2, fully maxed out, Unigine Heaven 3.0. Alright, and here's the system. I'll move the camera this way. The top card doesn't have a back plate, the bottom card does. The reason for that is this back plate, which was originally for the top card, is faulty. It shorts out the card when I have it on there. When they milled the grooves where the screws aren't supposed to come in contact with it, they didn't mill it deep enough. So the screws do come in contact, and so some of the power solder points come in contact with this, and it shorts out the card. So I can't use that right now. I have to send it back. I also did redo some of the loop in here. I used to have a black piece of tubing in the back that had a Y fitting on it with a bits or a coolant valve. I took that out. I didn't really need it. I got the both GPUs sleeved. I like the way it looks. Sleeving comes out rounded. So here's the front of the case. Let's see if I can get this camera. It's a Alphacool reservoir, dual bay reservoir, and a Scythe 12 channel fan controller. It's NZXT switch A10. But alright, later, man.